Further, in Act third, scene third, Mrs. Malaprop, she is listening the conversation between them. Mrs. Malaprop aside, she is overhearing. I'm impatient to know how the little hussy deports herself, because she is expecting that her niece Lydia Languis will misbehave with him. Why? Because she hated Captain Absolute as a husband, because she is in love with Ensign Beverly. So now she wanted to know the fact. So how Captain Absolute will mitigate the anger of his beloved Lydia Languis. So that's why she is listening. So pensive, Lydia, is then your warmth abated? Mrs. Malapro aside, warmth abated? So she has been in a passion, I suppose. Now she is shocked that they are talking lovingly to each other. How? Lydia, no, nor ever can while I have life. Aside, an ill-tempered little devil. She will be in a passion all her life, will she? Actually, she is listening the talk, and she wanted to know the fact that how much anger is there before Lydia Languis. Is she angry with Captain Absolute? She is not ready to meet him, but they are talking to each other. Lydia, think not the idle threats of my ridiculous aunt can ever have any weight with me. But now she is listening that they are talking about their love, because this is not Captain Absolute here. He is Ensign Beverly and Lydia Languis. So that's why they are making plan how to run away, how to deceive Madame Malaprop. And Mrs. Malaprop is listening, very dutiful, upon my word. Let her choice be Captain Absolute, but Beverly is mine. Lydia is saying that she loves with Beverly, not Captain Absolute. And Captain Absolute is talking as if he is Beverly. Malaprop, I am astonished at her assurance. To his face, this is his face. She is surprised that Lydia is talking for her husband, future husband, lover, Ensign Beverly, in front of Captain Absolute. Captain Absolute, thus, then let me enforce my suit, kneeling. She is acting. He is acting actually by kneeling. Yeah, poor young man, down on his knees, entreating for pity. I can contain no longer. Aloud, why thou vixen, I have overheard her. So now she comes before them, that Captain Absolute was entreating her to love. He was requesting her to love. And all the discussions, Mrs. Malaprop was listening by hiding herself. Now she comes out of her hiding and goes before these two characters, Lydia Languis and Captain Absolute. Still she is not known, she doesn't know that it is Mr. Captain Absolute, and he is the same person as Ensign Beverly. Oh, confound her vigilance! Captain Absolute, I know not how to apologize for her shocking rudeness. Mrs. Malaprop is sorry with the misbehavior of her daughter, niece, Lydia Languis. Absolute aside. So all safe I found. Aloud. I have hopes, madam, that time will bring the young lady. Actually, Captain Absolute is afraid also that she has listened the talk as Ensign Beverly. But when he is confirmed that no, she hasn't listened the talk as Beverly, he is happy. Oh, there is nothing to be hoped for from her. She is a headstrong as an allegory on the banks of Nile. Still she is adamant. She is not ready to accept Captain Absolute. Nay, madam, what do you charge me with now? Lydia is requesting. Why, thou unblushing rebel, didn't you tell this gentleman to his face that you loved another better? Didn't you say you never would be his? So now you should say that you love Ensign Beverly and you are not going to marry this person. Tell it. She is angry. No, madam, I did not. She is not ready. Good heavens, what assurance, Lydia. Lydia, you ought to know that lying don't become a young woman. Didn't you boast that Beverly, that a stroller Beverly possessed your heart? Tell me that, I say. She is abusing her niece, Lydia Language, that you love Ensign Beverly. Tell this fact to Captain Absolute. She is thinking that this is Captain Absolute. But they are talking to each other as Ensign Beverly and Lydia Language. Lydia. It is true, ma'am, and none but Beverly. Still she is adamant, and she declares that she loves only Ensign Beverly, and she would also marry with him. Hold, hold, assurance, you shall not be so rude. Nay, pray, Mrs. Malaprop, don't stop the young lady to speak. She is very welcome to talk thus. It does not hurt me in the least, I assure you. But Absolute is acting as if he is not angry with this discussion of Lydia Language, that she declares that she is in love with Ensign Beverly. You are too good, Captain, too amiably patient, but come with me, miss. Let's see you again soon, Captain. Remember what we have fixed. What is the planning? That they will protest Ensign Beverly jointly. I shall, ma'am. Mrs. Malaprop, come, take a graceful leave of the gentleman. She is requesting Lydia Language to bid farewell to his future husband, Captain Absolute. May every blessing wait on my Beverly, my loved Beverly. But she is adamant that she loves Beverly and she is not ready to farewell Captain Absolute. Hussy, I'll choke the word in your throat. Come along, come along. So now they exeunt severely that nobody is happy there because she is taking it that this is Captain Absolute. But Lydia Language is talking as if he was Mr. Beverly. And Mrs. Malaprop is sorry that her niece Lydia Language is misbehaving with her future husband, Captain Absolute. But he is not actually angry because he is himself Beverly, that she is talking about him. No, so here is the a type of quarrel among them, that she is misbehaving with her future husband, Captain Absolute. But Captain Absolute is the real lover of Lydia Language. So here comes the end.